Hello, my name is 𝐍𝐸ann and I'm so excited to be here on Tuesday at 2 Central Time. We have an international crowd here, excited to learn more about Now.Site Marketing. We're going to go through a quick introduction to what Now.Site is, how it works, and then following that, we'll do a separate recording of a training where I'm going to talk about how to get your Now.Site website / landing page set up, which is kind of the first thing you need to do as you get into this. So I'm just excited to be here. This has been a life changer for me as well as many other people. I am grateful to 𝐒𝐢𝐿𝐵, who last March said, hey, check this out. And I was like, yeah, I'm good. And then July, she's like, no, really, check this out. And she goes, come on, just 20 minutes. And it was the best 20 minutes really I've spent, because I saved a ton of money. 30 minutes later, I was canceling all sorts of subscriptions to things I thought I needed. In reality, I didn't need them because I had a better system that cost me far less, and that's Now.Site. So in about 30 minutes, I saved a bunch of money. I got this. I shared it with a couple people, and I have not technically been paying for this ever since. It's a really great deal. 𝐒𝐢𝐿𝐵, my leader, not only the person who brought me in, but she continues to progress. This past month, she made darn close to 5 figures in Now.Site. Now, that is not why we're here today, but I'm just letting you know that there is that side to it as well. If you are a person who shares, a person who cares, well, I mean, you can care and not share, I guess, but this might be something for you. Meanwhile, for the rest of us who are just business people, we have busy lives. We know we need to be doing marketing, but yeah, I'll get to that later. This could be a fantastic solution for you, and no pressure, to do anything else with it at all other than grow the business that you love. And that's what I do with Joyminder, is I really help businesses to find those tools that help them do more of what they enjoy and less of the other stuff. So this is one of the many tools, and 𝐒𝐢𝐿𝐵 is one of the many coaches that I recommend people work with in order to really achieve more joy in their businesses. Because after all, do you really just want to drudge through your day? Life's short, live it. Okay, so now I'm done lecturing. I will say that there are many other trainings. This is me. I like to do this. I do this on Tuesdays at 2 o'clock, but there are a lot of other trainings. In fact, a getting started training happens on Wednesdays, 2 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Central Time, and that is led by 𝐒𝐢𝐿𝐵 as well as Richard, who is the leader of Gem Junkies. They do phenomenal trainings, really. I'd encourage you to go to that as well if you haven't already, especially if you're new, and get their insights. We're just going to go through a little piece of things today. Tomorrow they'll go through a lot more. So I'm happy you're here, and let's get started. So this is my Now.Site business presentation. Again, my name is 𝐍𝐸ann, and I am part of the Gem Junkies team. 𝐒𝐢𝐿𝐵's team is part of that. The Joyminder team is part of that. And we're just really grateful for the leadership of Now.Site overall. And I'll get into that just briefly. But right now, as you know, all of you that have businesses, let's say you're a personal trainer or a chiropractor, right? Ignoring online marketing is kind of like opening up a business, but not telling anyone. Not a good idea. It's not going to get you very far. Google reports that over 90% of consumers go online to research offline purchases and companies before they buy. And if they can't find them or the information isn't quite accurate, they will leave or not even try. They'll give up. Personally, I've looked up information on like store hours, gotten there and they were closed. And I've never gone back to the store, because it just irritates me that they can't keep things up to date. And yet again, as smaller business owners or solopreneurs, sometimes it's hard to keep things up to date if we're relying on somebody else to do it. It's 2 o'clock on Saturdays. Something has changed in my business. I need to do something. It's nice to be able to have the control of updating yourself, and yet not have it be so complicated that you had to go to school to learn how to do it. How's that sound? That's what we're going to talk about today. 99% of independent business owners do not have a professional online marketing presence. And people are shocked at that number. Like, really? Could that be true? 99% of independent business owners, because doesn't everybody have a website now? You know, Amazon does, and Target does, and Best Buy does. Well, yeah, they're big business owners. They're not independent business owners. But think of the independent business owners, the salespeople, the real estate people, the smaller businesses that maybe they have a Facebook page, but that's not a professional online marketing presence. If you have a Facebook page, you may or may not know Facebook, Twitter, they just sometimes close your accounts. LinkedIn can too. So, I mean, it's different, but it's just, you know, you got to know that you actually have some control over your online marketing presence. And that's what Now.Site does. So let me talk a little bit about who founded Now.Site. His name is Justin 𝐍𝐸. He is up in Canada. I know we have a couple Canadians in the house. Woot, woot. And he went to this little school you may have heard of called Harvard. Did really well, from what I hear. He actually grew 2 tech companies and sold them. And at the young age of 41 today, he actually started Now.Site 3 years ago. And really for one main reason. He saw all the big companies just phenomenal growth. You know, we've had generally a pretty strong economy for quite a few years. And all those companies were going up and up and up, and all the little companies were going flatline, flatline, flatline. Maybe we weren't going down, but now in the last couple of months, you know, we all need a little help. So his heart was truly with the small business owners, the mompreneurs, the solopreneurs, the partnerships. He wanted to help us have the same type of access that he saw the big businesses having. And he knew that digital marketing in some ways was leveling the playing field. Okay, that's all well and fine, but are you an expert in any of these things? Because I've actually studied a lot of these and I'm not an expert in all of these at all. So what do small business owners do? We do sales. Why do we do sales? Because we've got a mortgage to pay. We've got employees maybe or not, or we've got a car payment, or we've got kids that they want to eat. I mean, right? We've got bills. And so we do sales. We're always out there looking for that sale today. And that is what we do. Even in our networking, often it's like, how many cards can I collect and who can I sell to tomorrow? You know, because I need a sale today. Bigger businesses, the ones with those really fancy websites, don't. I mean, they do sales, obviously, but they're really focused more on branding and marketing. So branding and marketing is the name of the game, because in branding and marketing, they make sure that when your phone breaks, you know who you're going to go to based on whether or not you relate to their branding and marketing, whether or not you like and know and trust them. And that comes from marketing, not sales. So they get the sales, but not just today, but ongoing into next month, next year, et cetera, and so forth. More contacts, of course, is what leads to more sales. You got to have as many people in your, let's call it a pipeline, let's call it a database, your CRM, however you want to call it, but you need to have that full so that you can keep in touch with people and reach them. Okay, so easy, right? Well, not so much necessarily, because even though I've known some of this stuff for a long time, it was so scattered and so all over the place. I didn't know what to do. Sometimes I just sit at my computer thinking, okay, I need to get onto Facebook. I need to update this. I need to set up that. You know, it just gets so, well, I felt like this, you know, why don't we do all this? Because of the costs, the complexity, the time, the learning curve. I actually had a CRM called HubSpot that I was paying $800 a month on a contract to have for my previous manufacturing business. I mean, really, $800 a month, that's a car payment and a half, maybe 2. And that's hard. By the way, the onboarding to learn how to use it was 3 months long. So if you have 3 months to go and learn one thing, go ahead, and the money. but we don't, because we have a passion for doing something else in the world. We love what we're doing, how we're gifted at helping people. Like I work out with a personal trainer, and right now we're doing it over Zoom, and I'm so grateful. She's still correcting me. She can tell when my foot is twisted in or not. I'm glad. I can't tell stuff like that. So we all have our particular gifts, and we need to be able to connect with the other people who need our gifts. So Now.Site really does all this. It does attract prospects. It finds those people that you're looking for. That's really unique. We can go to networking events and find people, or we used to be able to, but this actually finds people for us. It actually attracts people. It's really cool. I'll show it to you in a minute. It helps us to communicate with them, help them get to know us, like us, trust it. That's the website, emails, newsletters, blogging, content marketing. And then it's important in our businesses to track and measure. And Now.Site does all of this. So here's the Now.Site platform that does completely reach all these different areas. So in July, I didn't do all of this. I did 1 or 2 social media here and there. But man, it was hard to find new material to post or write. I blogged, but man, you write the blog, then you format the blog, then you find pictures for the blog, and then you put it up, and then you have to remember to promote it. And it just wasn't something I could do on a really regular basis, but you know that blogs are good for search engine optimization, or maybe you don't, because you don't need to know that stuff, because it's all beyond what you really need to, or care about, but it is something you should know about. So Now.Site takes care of that too. So let's go into it. So one thing that Now.Site does, it includes ads. Now ads are something that a lot of people spend a lot of money on, and they really don't usually know why or what they're getting out of them. Typical ad on Facebook, for instance, they'll say, hey, boost this post, and they give you a recommended $5. Great, $5 a day, 30 days a month for one ad, and you don't really know how many people are seeing it or things like that. They do give you analytics, don't get me wrong, but at $150 a month for one post to be boosted, that can be quite a hefty bill. And if again, the next day they recommend another, and the next day they recommend another, that would be an interesting math problem. What's 30 times 150? Not really asking. Retargeting ads though are special, and you've seen them. You look at that really cool beverage. Let's say, hey, I looked at this beverage online, and next thing you know, that beverage ad is coming up over and over again. In fact, they say now if you have certain social media on your phone and you're talking about things, yeah, they're listening. So if you start seeing ads for stuff you've just been talking about, let me know. I'm curious. I have heard people verify that that is actually true. But retargeting it's the norm. It's out there, but it's not necessarily something the average person knows how to set up, knows how to pay for, or uses in their independent business. It's usually reserved for the big companies that are, they have their own Google people, right? So retargeting ads is part of this, and I think that that's an amazing feature because it helps us to reach people. The other part is for ads is we have something called ad pin. Other people, you may have heard it called geo-targeting or something to that degree. The idea is that you create an ad, and by the way, in Now.Site, it's so easy. Remember earlier I showed the photo with all the different social media? Well, every one of them has like their own way to set up ads. I saw a 30-minute training on how to set up Facebook ads. And if you wanted to do it on Twitter and LinkedIn and Instagram and all the others, you'd have to learn and then do all these different things, and all the platforms are a little bit different. Ouch. Now.Site makes it easier. In your ad editor, you enter a headline, a longer headline, a little bit of text, 2 photos. That's the required part. And then optionally, you can drop a pin on a map and say how much space, do you want to cover for this ad? And then on top of that, you can go into what we call advanced ad targeting, picking, do you want women or men to get onto it? What age group do you want to have see your ad, and so forth. So in this example here, we are looking at an ad for a home in the Dallas area, and they've picked a radius here that they want to have posted. They've given all the things that they want to pick for it, and when they hit send, that's interesting. It starts to broadcast. I just switched screens somehow there. All right, it broadcasts to iPhones, Androids, tablets, desktops, laptops, all over the place, and lands not just on one platform, but on millions of different platforms potentially. Now, obviously not one ad's going to go a million places. You're probably not buying that many ads, but it will go on to lots of different social media, but also onto news sites, into if people are checking their Yahoo account, their Google account, ads can pop up anywhere, and we didn't have to learn how to create all of those ads. That's pretty cool. So again, Now.Site is made for the small business owner, the entrepreneur that has a love for something other than probably social media and marketing. So it just makes it easy. So here we go. We've got this ad. This one is showing it on Facebook, and somebody sees it. They see it on their iPhone. This woman here, let's call her Isabella, is looking at this ad, and she's thinking, wow, that's a nice house. I'd like to look at it. And so she clicks on it. She might not need a house right now. She's going to get married in 6 months, but of course, she can still look, right? So she clicks on the ad, and where she ends up is right here on this realtor's landing page, which is created in Now.Site very quickly, very easily. It's all in there, and wow, there's this little form that says, hey, would you like to see this house? Fill in this form. She fills in the form and immediately starts getting an email. So she goes into this realtor's CRM, contact relationship management system. Call it a database, call it whatever you want, just call it working. And here's her information that's gone into his database. And then immediately she gets an email that says, hey, we'd love to connect with you. When do you have time to go see this house? And she can even pick the time. Meanwhile, what's this realtor doing? Maybe he's on the golf course. Maybe he's playing with his kids. Maybe he's asleep. Doesn't really matter. All of this is happening with automation while she is interested and he's doing something else. It's pretty cool. So remember, she's not getting married, and maybe she doesn't even want to see the house right now, but she is in his system, and she's obviously a person who eventually is going to be a prospect for buying a home. So now his automated system starts sending out email campaigns. In this case, let's see, what could he tell her? Well, hey, these are the different neighborhoods that I specialize in. These are the different types, these are the parks, these are the schools, this is the shopping area, and builds that relationship with her and says, hey, you know what, when you buy a home in this area, here's a really great guy who can build a tennis court for you in your backyard. I mean, that's a pretty nice house, right? But he can just build that relationship, giving her more people, more contacts that she can meet up with. And when it comes time for her buying a house, who is she going to call? That guy. So that's how it works. Let's imagine, let's take one of your examples. I think, let's see, I don't know, whatever. Let's say you're a trainer, and most people, trainers and chiropractors, right? You work in a particular area. You probably don't need to attract people in Minnesota from North Dakota. They're probably not driving to you. Some will, but let's just say most of your people are going to be within a particular number of miles of where you work. So you can do the same thing. You can literally target ads to that area of people for those people who really want your services. And maybe you have a specialty. I know I was just in a meeting with a chiropractor yesterday, and she totally works with women who are pregnant. And she gave a whole long story. It was really fascinating though, about a woman who's, she actually treated her just like within hours of her giving birth. It was really cool. But so she'd really want to narrow her niche with these ads to pregnant women in a particular area. Now she might have a broader area because maybe women would be willing to travel further for a specialty like hers. So if you have a really cool specialty in your practice, then you can adjust the area that you're trying to attract accordingly, and then build that relationship with them. And put them into your CRM. Another part of what we do is we do have a blog, and we have social posting. These are going to reach out to the people that you do know or have come to your website already through those retargeting ads. We get them back, and we help again to build that trust. Boy, that sounds like a lot of work still, right? Well, how about if you have a friend to help you out called AI? Artificial intelligence. What if you don't have to go find all those posts? What if you don't have to think too hard about what you're going to do? Artificial intelligence in this case helps with all of that. In fact, it helps build the websites so that it will attract the right types of people to you. Everything in this whole system is meant to be like drag and drop and click and done. In fact, the whole process takes about 5 minutes a day. Once you're all set up, about 5 minutes a day, 3 clicks, and a little bit of typing. So I'll walk you through that quickly. I think I'm actually going to take you, I'm going to go through some slide versions of it. So here's a quick peek at how it works. So every morning when we wake up, we have recommended posts for whatever business that we're in. So in this case, it's a travel business, and she has a recommended post right here. And she says, wow, that looks like a good one. I think I'll use that. So she clicks on post, which is right here. And it asks first, would you like to add this content to your website's blog? Everybody here who knows me well, the answer is yes, always. You always add posts to your blog. The blog is what helps drive your search engine optimization. But you push yes, and in one snap, you're done. There's no copying, there's no pasting, there's no opening something else. Remember, artificial intelligence found the post for you, offered it to you, and you click post, yes, and awesome, and you're done. It's added to your Now.Site website in one click. I said, well, 3 clicks, but 1 second, that fast. And it appears into your blog. So here's a snapshot. That post is right here in that blog already. The next thing that happens is it pops up and says, do you want to post this on social media, and where? You want to post it on Facebook or on LinkedIn or on Twitter, on all 3, on 2 of them, on which page do you want to post to? So you have lots of options here. Again, you select post and do those posts, and it might take you a minute or 2. But when you're done, you're done. That's the second click. And then if there's a third click, which again, in one click, will email this out to anybody that's already following you for your website and for your business through this marketing. By the way, you can import people too. So if you have people in your group right now that you might want to engage, you download those into Now.Site, and then they will also get this email friendly content emailed out to them that just says, hey, I was thinking about you. I thought you might be interested in this, because if they're not, then they're not your people anyway, probably. The final step in the 5 minutes is that it pops up with a little timer that says, great job. Now spend 3 more minutes being social on social media. Go find some people to like, go comment, go contribute to some groups. The kind of things that we need to do. And it's kind of nice that it's there. And by the way, if you X out of it, it'll guilt you. Oh, you don't want to build your business today? Oh, okay. But it's all very friendly, and it's for your own good. So finally, we do get to measure our results using the power of Google Analytics, or adding in Facebook Analytics and all sorts of other analytics as well. So that's also included, not something you have to pay extra for. So to recap, we've covered social media, blogging, emailing, website, search engine optimization, retargeting ads, optional additional ad pins, CRM, the database, and analytics. And normally you're buying all these different things. I've done it, and that's where I was kind of stuck last July. Like, this is just too much to do. And I was paying for each of these. You know, my husband and I would have the discussion on the, you know, the bills would come in. He's like, so what's this? So what's this? Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I meant to cancel that. You know, and it's only maybe $10 or $15 for some things, but it's $50 or $95 for others. And they just keep showing up and showing up. And it was such a relief in July to cancel many of those and replace it with one system. So I canceled about over $200 worth of stuff in July. I do know people personally that have canceled hundreds more, or even thousands of dollars of bills that they were paying out every month. Really, this is a mortgage payment. That $800 a month I mentioned, that was when I had a previous company, but that's like 2 car payments. This is a mortgage payment here. And some people pay that monthly for some of or a combination of these tools. Ouch. Let's replace it. Let's make it all together, affordable and all in one. One click your social media, one click your blog, one click your email, call it good and move forward. So obviously this is worth about, I don't know, $1,000. So $997 on sale. Isn't that what they always say? Actually, how about this? $87. And yeah, I know it says $327 over here, but ignore that, because honestly, the majority of people who are in Now.Site spend $87. And pretty much 100%, okay, 99.999% start with the $87. I am one of the rare ones who've moved up because I have multiple businesses. I'm juggling a lot of different things with what I do as an affiliate marketer. So I did move up to small business, and I will very likely move up, but that's me in a very specific type of business. Most businesses are very happy at $87, and I still recommend everybody start at $87 because you actually get all this. If you can see the screen, 3 artificial intelligence marketing campaigns. In other words, they're finding stuff for 3 of your different products or services or businesses. You get unlimited websites. So cool. I actually counted how many I have. It's really close to 100. 10,000 marketing emails, unlimited social media marketing, search engine optimization, file sharing. I didn't even talk about that. That's super cool if you have a team. Ask me questions about that later when we have a little open time, if you want to. And retargeting ads. Retargeting ads are included up to 250 visitors. So once you get a certain number that have come to your site, 250 will be retargeted to come back 10 times. Optional at the bottom, you can see you can get those ad pin products. I did not do those for the first few months while I was just getting things underway, but I do now actually get an ad package as well. 10,000 ads for $50 is 2 cents per ad. That's a pretty good deal. And it's optional. And by the way, the contract is not for a decade. It's not for 2 years. It's not for 1 year. In fact, there's no contract. I'm going to say that, and then I'm going to say, and it's not overnight that this all happens, right? Give it 2 to 3 months to really build up and see how it's working for you, for your own business, and make sure that you're connecting in and getting the training and getting the support. So we should talk about that briefly. I did mention at the beginning that you can get your whole program for free. I did within a week. So I'm now being paid more than the program costs. The way to get into that is you share this with 3 other business owners that you know, that you're like, wow, I know you're struggling with this too. Come watch LeAnn, she's awesome. Or watch her video that I was on. And because you can totally, this will be up later today. Share this video with them, let them see. And then if you have a couple people doing that, you will actually earn more than this program costs at that lower level and even beyond. So I'll leave that at that. And I'm going to move over to my screen. Hello, Moses. I see Moses has joined on here, one of my guests. It's good to see you. I'm looking here. Leanne, you're awesome. Thank you. Yes, we can talk. And Dr. Christine. Okay, great. Awesome. Okay, so I'm moving over to share a screen here with you now. I will find it. And I want to show you just a little bit about the support that we have with Now.Site. Excuse me while I look for the right screen. Found it. Okay, so this is my actual back office, if you can see this. As you see, it's popped up and has a suggested post for one of my websites, which is a calendar app called 10 to 8 calendar app. I'm running ads for that. I have a website for that, and it's suggesting that the people that would be interested in my calendar app at some point, or maybe today, could also be interested in this article about 10 apps to improve your life as a student in Stockholm. Cool. As it happens, I'm Swedish. I think that's kind of exciting and kind of cool. And I'm going to post that. So we're going to hit start. And in this case, I get a little error message. I think it's Zoom. I'll fix that later. So here you can kind of see my back office where you can see I have analytics, I have online ads, websites, email campaigns, social media. It's all listed over here. Contacts is my CRM. And down here in the lower right-hand corner, I want you to see this because this is awesome available support, and it's only getting better. There's some new cool stuff coming. In fact, this month they're also adding on SMS, that's texting. I haven't even talked to you about that yet. But in here, you're going to find training and resources and live support. 68 hours a week. You can jump on a Zoom call with live support and get help with your Now.Site content, which is crazy cool. This is what I did when I first started with Now.Site. I was on there every day. Hi, it's Leanne. Here's my question of the day. And in between, I would go into the training and resources page. And here I could look up shorter videos. Of course, you can also go to, say, you know, I've been doing these YouTubes for quite a while. You're welcome to go there. And here's an article on editing your first, this is going to start playing, but editing your first video. So I have these videos on YouTube as well. Welcome to come over and find me. Joy Minder Consulting is the name. And then you can give me a subscribe. That would be fantastic. So support is all over the place. We do these regular calls. In fact, I have a list here to read through. Like I said, tomorrow, actually it's Robert and Lois Kofi will do a call every Wednesday, 2 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. We invite members of Now.Site, people who are actively doing Now.Site, to be part of our WhatsApp group. If you're not in, please, please, please ask to get into that and make sure that you do. It's not a social group. It's not, it's really just meant to help make sure that you're supported, that you're trained. It's easy to ask questions. We also have Gem Junkies. I referred to Gem Junkies earlier. They have a Facebook page. You know, everybody, we welcome you into that so you can get connected, get updates and so forth. We have a lot of support in here. So yeah, and I'll go through a few more of those things as we get into the training today. So at this point, I want to just open it up if I have anybody that wants to ask a quick question about the product without going into any details or training. I'm looking at the chat, if I can find it actually. There we go, chat. Where'd you go? There we go.
Yeah, Leanne, I just sent you a clarifying private message. You might want to explain to them, if they come every Tuesday, they get to see you, they get to ask questions. One-on-ones may or may not always be, you know, available or best suited.
Right, exactly, yeah. And it all depends. I mean, you know, people who are on my team, yes, I do have some conversations and some time. If you're not on my team, I strongly encourage you to come to whatever trainings like this or that other people are doing and having that opportunity, or certainly talk to the person who you've worked with, who got you to a training, and say, hey, I need some help. I have some questions. So that's definitely what you would want to do. Okay. All righty. So any questions? This is, what if you already have a website? Oh, fantastic question. Thank you for asking. Let me show you my website. So before I knew Now.Site, I had a website called joyminder.com. I'm going to hit send. And now watch the URL magic. It goes over to my Now.Site website. Now you don't have to do that. It can go the other direction as well. Let's say you have a landing page in Now.Site, and you can easily put a button in your landing page that brings them to that expensive website that you had built. What you may find is that your landing page will optimize better and faster than your website, because you're doing the optimization things like updating and adding to the blog and doing stuff on it daily. A lot of people spend a lot of money on a website and then they never do anything with it, and it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't get optimized. The next question I asked here was, what if you don't have a website? Perfect. That's who this is built for as well. You don't have to have a website because you can create your own websites. And you want to see how quick and easy that is. That's the training that we're going to do next. But you just click the Add Now button, answer a couple quick things, boom, you will have a website. You make a couple changes to it. You can add in a logo. Your logo can be your pretty face. And then you are off and running with a website. And by the way, you don't even have to go buy the URL. Boom. It's a really, really, really great system. Thank you, Dr. Christine. Nice to have you here. And I will have this recording if you wish to review it later. Anybody else with quick questions? We are at 2:38, so I'm going to end this shortly. But if there's any quick things, does the email marketing provide analytics and open rates? Yes, it does. Good question. Anything else right now? All right. All right, I don't see anything else. At the moment, we're gonna drop this off, but I am gonna start another recording in just a moment, and we will go into training more specifically on how the first thing you need to do in Now.Site is make sure you have a website. So Matthew, your question about what if you don't have a website, we're gonna handle that for you right here. Thanks so much. I will be back next Tuesday, 2 p.m. Central Time, and always happy to be here. I really love doing this and working with people, and it's just a joy. So thanks for being here. Thanks for listening, and we will log off in